first day of February. And, February is, for some people, Valentine's is always, it's all when you think about romance, because I am deeming this romance month, but is it all about the Valentine love? No. I want to bring your mind to romance, but not like that hot, passionate relationship with your husband or significant other or your children. No, it's bringing romance, excuse me, bringing romance back to just certain things in your life, things that make your heart smile. So, next week is Valentine's, and we're thinking about the hearts and the cards and possibly candy going out, a night of romance or whatever. But a lot of us aren't with somebody to share those things, and um, but there's other ways to celebrate. Um, I'm not a real fan of it, but Galentine's is like a big thing now for ladies to get together. It's like, well, maybe our marriages aren't so, we've been together with our loved ones so much that, it's not that we don't love them, but that romantic, I need to spend time alone with my husband, or we're widowed, we're divorced, coming together to just celebrate life. I'm just not a fan. Personally, I'm not a fan. It's not that not a fan of that celebration. I just don't like some of the catchy slang terms that are out there these days. Um, so, but that's my opinion. Don't be a hater, but go ahead and hate. Put things in the comments. Just changing some things so that when people come on, they say hi. Please say hi. So, who is this lady talking about romance and Valentine's in February? Well, as you saw before, I changed this. My name is Weezy, and this is Wednesday with Weezy. And I come here every Wednesday, most Wednesdays. Well, I do come here every Wednesday to share something lifestyle, just to give you kind of a pickup during the middle of your week, giving you some information of things of how we might just do life a little better. Making some adjustments here while we're talking, giving Wheezy over to the light, making some shifts here. So today we are going to talk. It is a February romance life month, bringing love to the things we love or things we want to bring back into our lives, showing just bringing love back into our life. Man, I had a hard time speaking that out. But anyway, that is what we are talking about today. And I hope that you enjoy it. So, for me, I know January was kind of a roller coaster of a month. Uh, Emotionally, things changing and shifting in life. Not so happy, but it's all going to be okay. It's just yet another bump in the road. Um, and if you hear any barking, I'm sorry. That's my dog Cooper. And I'm going to bring my mic just a little bit closer. But anyway, in the month of January, it was also a very rainy month, not a whole lot of light because of lots of clouds and rain. And I just got sick of looking at winter stuff. Winter got to me a little bit. I don't function well in low light conditions. I need some light in my life. So I'm just going, oh my gosh, I need to get anything that looks like winter out because I had like ornaments of snowmen in the house still up to represent winter that had been up for the whole month of December for Christmas. I was just tired of anything that I had out for Christmas that also represented winter. It was like time for you to be gone, except unless it was red, because I wanted to keep the red up for Valentine's, and it will go down as soon as Valentine's is over. Done. Um, but it just. But what I did is I kind of went and I changed. It was a great opportunity to change some things up in my home. Maybe not put back exactly everything that I had out before. Maybe not exactly put things in the same places as they were before. And I pulled out my Valentine things to remind me of love, pink, red, what else? So I hung something different on my outside doors, but I also started incorporating back in some of my little flower arrangements and stuff like this. So while I did this, we scroll on our phones a lot, and I get a lot of magazine. I read a lot of magazines and blogs because I want to know what's happening to share things with you guys. And I don't know if you remember last fall, but I introduced you to uh, Grand Grand Glam, which was bringing some elements back into the home that you might have found in your grandmother's house or your grandmother probably decorated with in the 70s and 80s. Well, another hot trend that really kind of really piggybacks off of that. um, Grand Glam is more elegant things. But what I'm getting ready to share with you is, once I find it, here we go. It's called Cottage Core. Cottage Core is more vintage. Um, it is more a little more romantic, very nature oriented in in everything. And if you're just coming on, uh, I was just saying February is romance month, and it's not necessarily all about hearts and kisses and love, 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 like that kind of romance love, but things that we love, things that we want to bring love into our life. And today is interior design. So go ahead and give me a hi in the chats. There's Mary Cummings. Good morning, Mary. Thank you for joining. Uh, we are, so today I was sharing, I made some changes during the winter um, with my decor. I couldn't stand to see anything else that looked like cold, bleak winter or a Christmas orientation. And so I brought in elegant elements of Valentine's Day love, but I also brought in some flowers to brighten up my spaces so that I have something more cheery to look at. But today we're going to talk about um, this cottage core, and um, it is a back to basics, slow life spirit as seen through rose colored lenses. So we make things just a little bit more cheery. Um, we focus on the tactiles and the sensual pleasures, coziness and dis- domesticity, domestic. I can't pronounce it, but domestic things. Focus on sustainability, so things that last a long time, and prioritizing handcrafted and vintage items that have history and tells a story. So this again, for you youngers, this is a great time to take some of your grandmother's pieces and incorporate them maybe some of your parents' pieces and incorporate them that has been handed down through the years but has some history to it. Like I know my children each have pictures that hung in my parents' homes of their family farm. But if somebody comes in and looks at that picture and goes, "Oh, that's pretty. Where's that?" Well, let me tell you, this was my grandparents' farm. I have pieces in my house that I have incorporated from my parents' home, and I can tell a story about that and other old pieces that we've restored. And I'm going to show you some examples of things that I've pulled out that I am decorating with now um, in my home. So, anyways, but it just helps finishing off your room. Some act You don't have to redo your house. You don't have to redo your rooms in order to do this. If you want to, you can. And I'm going to share an article more about this in just a minute. Um, but pick the decor that your room that you might feel you want to put a little vintage into, a natural feel. Some ideas include, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So first, I'm going to go and share with you a article, and here we go. Which I love this bedroom. I love this bedroom, but this was written a couple years ago, but there's still a lot of articles that were just written in December along these lines. So it's not brand new, but it's the start of things. And it usually takes 2 to 5 years for something to come forth when it's a small trend. So I think we're still a little bit ahead of the curve. Um, but it goes, but it this article explains cottage core. If you're not hip to the cottage core movement, now's the time to smarten up. With a mixture of nostalgia and desire to create a more comforting home environment, cozy core aesthetics emphasize a return to simpler times and celebrates traditional crafts and skills such as pottery, gardening, and baking. And it's also big in the clothing environment too. Um, but uh, it is marked by romantic florals, vintage botanicals, rustic hues, and cottagecore decor supplies an ample amount of country cottage charm with a dash of boho and farm style chic. It's no surprise the cottagecore trend is making major waves in fashion and design world as we this was when we were still in the midst of COVID, but in COVID we realized we wanted to make our homes a little more cozy and happy, a happy place because we were dwelling there so much. And still, not everybody's made some adjustments and we may still be enjoying more time at home. Um, but it's just a good time to put these things into your home, feel the plush coverings and string lights for more, which I do love. I do. I wouldn't do this, but I'd like the look, the aesthetics of this room. Um, but for magazine purposes, they always overdo, but some of those elements would be nice. Um, and here's, quilts. And if you're with me hardly ever at all, my mom was a quilter and does wonderful. And several of my sisters do quilts and still keep that history moving forward. And actually, some of my great nieces are learning how to quilt. But bringing in elements of garden, so bringing in the big resurgence of plants. Um, I'm a big succulent lover, and I have plants and succulents in my home. But just even if that's all you incorporate, bringing that into your home is something big. Um, I don't. Uh, I'm sorry. I just realized I wasn't sharing. I don't know if I was sharing this or not. So I'm going to go back to that room. Here's the bedroom with the, I love these Edison lights. I have some out on my deck. Um, and I like to decorate. You can see they're in the back here behind me. Here's the quilt. There's a cozy little reading nook and built-in shelves with things that we love and books and the plants. Um, this look I'm not crazy over. But if you're in the right spot, if that's what you want, a lot of lights strung all over, that's great for you. And they talked about the baking and the different things. But I want to move on down to integrate earth tone decor elements. And whether it's sun-baked paint color like burnt orange or deep brown, sand colors, uh, shaggy rugs, just adding different elements, layering into your room. Um, and you can always count on a decorative do-it-yourself project to invoke sentiment into your cottage core and keep you entertained. So I am going to stop sharing this and come back over here. Mary, I hope that all came through for you. But anyways, I did. So some things that I went out on the web and discovered, going through just a little bit more of this, bringing up a little bit more detail. Um, I'm hoping this will allow me to share this. Um, hold on. Just give me a second. I got to go back over here. Uh, and uh, hopefully you can see this. Anyways, I took time to make these pretty little slides. Um, college court. So once again, it's a home design and a lifestyle college court. Cottage core is simplicity, comfort, self-reliance, and personal freedom. This romantic, nature-driven design trends call for cozy spaces decorated with rustic touches and furnished with everything you need to lead a happy and productive life. Well, that may be so, but you just are going to feel better. And so that may go on. But here's some rooms that I found some examples for that I thought this is cottage core the way I would like it. There's a lot of these pictures that I found on the internet, and it was just way over the top, and everything was too cluttered look for me. Um, but I liked these rooms for just some different things. A nice sitting room with nice little touches. Uh, Still, would this be something I would have? Probably not the first one. If I had the right environment, definitely the second one. I do like the cream color. If I had the room for the built-ins, maybe for me it would be a little less cluttered. I just don't like a lot of clutter, but I do like the touches of the flowers. But accents that you can do. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing because I want to show. Well, just a minute. I say that. Some of the accents they talk about are like vintage suitcases. If you're into that, great. If you're not, incorporating some vintage leather. That if you don't have something like that, um, that can be a little pricey. But if that's something you wanted, go to an antique store. You can go to thrift stores and to vintage shops, Etsy, and find some of these prints. A lot of these prints are really inexpensive on Etsy. They're like $11 for the set. You download, you buy them. They're like $11, $15, $20. But you get all of these prints and you can download them and then go find frames. But these kind of botanicals and old art that may have been, popular back in the day, um, just gives you can do like little wall collages. What vintage uh, watercolor landscapes are something else that are really big elements that you might have something like this, or your parents did to go in. Adding texture and the handcraftiness of like this piece right here that's over top of the fireplace. I love it. This wallpaper spoke of my mother. She loved things tall. Um, her house. So this brings in the Victorian romance. But then there's fun little nature prints that if you just had a little bit of this to like make pillows, paw holders, or something, little hand towels for like the guest room that, you're never going to use it. It's just there for decor, but just to add some decor. But I just thought a lot of these were fun. I have a lot of these elements for making my cards and my paper art. Um, the butterflies and mushrooms, the foxes, the bunnies, they're just they're things of nature that you look at them and it does lightens up your spirit. But then there's the fun vintage of like this flower or these fruits that add to it. And then I always love a little pansy, something to this one with the green to remind you of the past. And I hope that shared. If it did not, uh, it should show in the recording later. Um, ugh, sorry, Mary. I'll send you the slides. um, let me go back and just try that one more time, and I'll just scroll through it real quick because I want to make sure share window this share. Now that's okay. Never mind. So without ado, I do have some I want to stop sharing. I have some samples. I don't really have any of the fabric, but like these these old milk glass jars or old vases like this, and then add just a bouquet of roses to them. Let me come back here so it can all get in here. But something like this. I went through yesterday and I these are things that I just picked out that I already had laying around the house. I bought this last year when I discovered the Granny Glam and this little piece. And look, it's got like little butterflies on it, dainty flowers, all very indicative to the cottage core or the grand glam styles. Um, this is something somebody bought me years ago, but it's the botanicals because they knew that I was a garden lover. And I think they gave it to me as a housewarming gift uh, when I moved here. I just took it down like 3 years ago. But looking at it, I thought of something. I'm going to put it in my bathroom. I'm going to put it in my bathroom um, over my garden tub to add just a little update to my bathroom area. And then I have one more. Plants are really big, so if you're not into like the botanical, the old vintage style botanicals, still bring in the the banana leaf. This is a banana leaf that I had hanging on my wall. I'm going to find a new home for this. I think I know exactly where I think I'm going to put it in the new bathroom because that color goes in the new bathroom. And remind me, I have an update on the bathroom um, at the end. But anyway, you go into this stuff and you just go through some of your stuff. And if you have palm leaves or whatever, you know, you may not want dainty daisies or anything. To me, I love daisies. They speak to me. Or the more romantic roses. You don't It's what you like. This is you expressing yourself. Rattan and wicker, those natural elements. Baskets are also good things to put out there in your environment. And woven baskets, like the old longer burger baskets that they're wood reeds and woven together. But if you just put something like that and then put a couple little fun things in it, it all works. So this is my introduction to grand grand chic. I think what I'll do is I'll do a blog and then I will share the pictures of the slides in there. Um, because I got to keep moving on. But if you just look up um cottage core, you will get inundated with lots of images of what is out there available for cottage core. And you'll find something that if you wanted to bring just something a little bit new into your home, into your elements, it's very easy to do without overdoing it. So just bring something in that you love, that you like to look at, to bring that little feeling to your heart and to your heart's content. I hope you have a great day, everybody. Bye. Oh, reminder. I can't say goodbye yet. Uh, Bathroom update. The flooring is it's in the process of being installed, and I should go in there tonight and do a live while Barry's finishing it, and he can talk about the frustrations that he's had because we thought it would take like a day to do it, and he started Saturday. Let's just say he's still working. Every night he comes home from work and he's up here for hours working on the flooring, and he gave it a lot of time on Sunday. So it's just taking longer than anticipated, like any other project, but it is coming along and it's looking good. It's looking good. So I think he has one more piece to put in, and it could be a little tricky, but maybe I'll come live tonight and do a little update and have Barry share some of the trials and tribulations. And then when it's all done, I will do a little tour of the completed bathroom, all decorated and pretty and ready for guests to come stay with us in our newly furnished with old things guest room. So anyway, I will talk to you all later. Have a great day, and we will have a video for you next week. I have something. I have to be in the dentist chair at 9 a.m., but we are going to be talking about Valentine's next week. So join me then and tell your friends to come and join us, and subscribe to my channels if you haven't yet. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.